Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to the WAVE Online Art Lab. Today our project is called Color Lab. Color is one of our elements of art. That is, color is one of the things that makes up a work of art. So today we're going to learn about colors. What are primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, and how do we blend colors to get other colors? So let's jump right in. First, we have our three primary colors. Primary means first, and we say that these colors come first because we can blend these three colors together to get all of the other colors in the rainbow. So first we have red. Next we have blue. And finally, our third primary color is yellow. And if you've been in Mr. D's class before, you probably know these primary colors already. Now let's talk about what happens if we mix our primary colors together. Red and blue. If we mix these together, what do you guys think will happen? Well, I'll tell you, it's purple. When you mix these two up, you get purple. What about yellow and blue? What do you think it is? If you mix yellow and blue together, you get green. What about red and yellow? What color do we get if we mix these two together? We get orange. So these three colors we can get by mixing our primary colors, our red, yellow, and blue. What do you think we call these three colors? We call them secondary colors. Secondary just means second. We get them by mixing our primary colors. So if we look here at this circular graph, we can see our blue, our red, and our yellow. Those are our primary colors, and then we have purple, orange, and green. Those are our secondary colors that we just made by mixing our primary colors. You see they all go in a nice row here. Here's where things get even a little trickier. What about all these colors in between? So we have yellow, which is a primary color, and we have orange, which is a secondary color. But what about yellow-orange, or a color like red-orange, or blue-green? Well, when you mix a primary and a secondary color together, that's called a tertiary color. Tertiary means third, because it's the third kind of color you can make. Now here's where things get even more tricky. This part of the lesson Mr. D has reserved for 4th and 5th grade, but if you're in 3rd or 2nd or any other grade and you think you can follow along, Mr. D is welcome to have you here. Everything we just learned about color mixing works most of the time, except when it doesn't. Did you know that those are not the true colors of the rainbow? I'm talking about red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Here's a trick question. How could I mix hot pink from red, blue, and yellow? If these are our primary colors, how do I get this color? It looks brighter than red. It looks brighter than purple. Let's see. Red and blue equals purple, and that's pretty close, but it's not quite pink. Not quite pink. What if we lightened up the purple a little bit? Purple plus white just makes a lighter purple. What two colors make hot pink? In order to figure it out, we're going to have to throw away everything we know about color. Roy G. Biv, bye-bye. Let's introduce you to some new colors. These colors are cyan, magenta, and yellow. These are called additive primary colors. It's a long word, but it basically just means that these are the true primary colors. And what happens if you mix these colors together? What are the secondary colors? These are called red, green, and blue. I'm sorry, these are called subtractive primary colors. So let's learn about when you use these additive and subtractive colors. Additive colors, also called CMYK colors, are used whenever we're mixing paint or printing on top of paper, whenever we're adding colors on top of each other. For example, every picture you've ever held, every book, every poster, every printer, every piece of colored printed paper has been printed with cyan, magenta, and yellow ink. So if you look at printer cartridges, they always come in these three colors, plus black. And the black just shows us how light or dark the picture is. If you look really closely at printed media, what you'll see is thousands and thousands of little dots like these. They'll be in cyan, yellow, and magenta colors, and it's when they lay these colors on top of each other that we get all of the other colors of the rainbow. Here's a picture of a photograph. From far away, you can't really see any of those little tiny dots, but as we get closer and closer, you can see that it's actually made of thousands and thousands of tiny little magenta, cyan, and yellow dots. So here is the CMYK color wheel. There's our cyan, there's our yellow, there's our magenta, and then whenever we mix these colors, we can see we get red, yellow, and blue. I'm sorry, red, green, and blue. Red, green, and blue. Now we can play with CMYK a little bit and see how we can make different colors. So this is a toy online that lets me mix C, M, Y, and K to get different colors. But if we bring them all down to 0, we can see that it's pure white. Now let's start adding some colors, because remember, these are called additive colors. Here goes the cyan. I'm turning it all the way up to 100. Now, as I add some magenta to it, it's getting bluer and bluer until it's a really deep, beautiful blue. But if I take all of that magenta away, we can add in the yellow, and what we'll eventually get is a really bright, beautiful green. Now if we take away the cyan and add a little bit of magenta to our yellow, we get a beautiful dark red, and all of these are wonderful shades of orange on our way there too. So that's how mixing cyan colors works. Let's go back here. Now we'll talk about RGB colors. And when do we use RGB colors? Well, if you look at some of the examples on the screen, you can tell that our screens are made up of little tiny RGB colors. You may have seen a pixel being referenced before, and a pixel is basically a little dot on your computer screen that is used to make up a bigger picture. And every single little pixel on your computer is made up of red, green, and blue. When they all three shine together at the same time, it creates white light. So this space around the W that we see here is really white, even though it looks like lots of colors. Anytime you see pictures on a screen or a projector, they're made with RGB color. And here's a little video to illustrate what that looks like. You see the red, the green, and the blue? Well, as we slowly pull away, we can see those colors almost merging together in our eyes to make the white space on a screen. You can also see that in rolls of LED lights like this, like you would use to decorate your house, those are also made with RGB colors. Here is the RGB color wheel. You can see we have our red, our green, and our blue, and our RGB. Now look at what happens if we have red, green, and blue flashlights and we shine them on top of each other. Where the green and blue intersect, we get cyan. Where our blue and red intersect, we get magenta. And where our green and red intersect, we get yellow. So there's our CMY again. Over here, it looks a little bit easier to see, red, green, and blue. We've got our cyan, our magenta, and our yellow once again. So when you shine all three lights together, red, green, and blue, you end up with white in the middle. And now let's test it out and see if we can do that with our RGB color picker. So let's pretend that this box right here is a pixel on your computer display. Let's say we want to turn that pixel all the way white. So we have to turn red all the way up. We have to turn green all the way up. And we have to turn blue all the way up. Let's look at what happens if we remove the green. What color will our pixel become? It becomes magenta. What if we want just green and nothing else? Then we turn green all the way on, and then we turn the others all the way off. Then we get a solid green. What if we want to make an orange? Let's see, that might be a little more tricky. We're going to turn our red all the way up, then we're going to take our green down a little bit, and there is our orange. Now that we've looked at all of the different kinds of color wheels, from the first color wheel we learned, which was Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, to the CMYK color wheel and the RGB color wheel, now let's do a little experiment with it. So Mr. D has uploaded this worksheet on the website that you can look at and download on his Wave website. You should be able to download this here worksheet. And it has the 6 colors of the original rainbow, Roy G. Biv. So what you'll need to complete this worksheet is just one red, one yellow, and one blue crayon. That is it. So Mr. D will start by coloring in this red section, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just learning here, so I'm just going to quickly color it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'll do my yellow. Then finally my blue. So there's our red, our yellow, and our blue. Remember, these 3 are called primary colors. Now we'll make violet, or purple, and the way that we make violet is by mixing blue and red. So I'll color with my blue. And I'm going to do these colors a little bit more lightly. And then I'll color over that with my red. Now for my orange, I'll color some red down. And I'll blend it with my yellow. Finally, I'll make my green by coloring first with blue, and then with yellow. Alright, as you can see, we have completed our color wheel. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Now what I'd like for you to do is take whatever color is your favorite, whether it's orange, green, blue, red, and color the inside heart with it. Mr. D's favorite is green, so I'm going to pick my blue up and I'm going to color my heart blue. And then I'm going to color on top of it with my yellow to make it green. There we go. I heart color. Well, boys and girls, that's it for our color lab today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun. Please tune in next week and we'll have even more fun, exciting things to do in the art lab. Thank you, boys and girls. Have a great day.